The other day, my kiddo came to me and said, "Mommy, I want to be a pilot, janitor, policeman." And I looked at him and I said, "Buddy, you can be whatever you want to be." But I know at some point, society is going to tell him that that's just a foolish aspiration, or that doesn't make any sense. And I know at some point, you've probably heard something similar. There was that little kid inside you who had all of these dreams and aspirations for their life, for their career. Maybe they've panned out, maybe they haven't. But I created this video for him, but also for you, because I think sometimes we need reminders. And so what I'm gonna share with you are things that I want you to always remember about yourself. And I did create a list because I didn't want to skip over any of these. And the first one is that your career does not define you. At some point along the way, we have put so much emphasis on what your job title is, what you do for a living. I mean, you go to a party and one of the first questions you get is, "So what do you do?" But I wanna let you know, it doesn't matter what your title is, how much money you make, how fancy your office is or not. That is not you. You are so much more. You have so many things to offer that have nothing to do with your job. If you were in a job that you absolutely love and that has a purpose that you are so passionate about, that is awesome. But a lot of the time we find ourselves in careers we never really planned on being in. And that is okay. That doesn't mean you're failing in any way. That doesn't mean that you aren't worthy. And that's my next point, is that I want you to always know your worth. There are going to be times where people, where bosses, where companies don't value what you bring to the table, but don't, and I repeat, don't make that think less of yourself. You are so amazing and beautiful, and God put you here for a reason. Don't give the power to a company to make you question yourself. And next is you need to be your biggest advocate. There are going to be people who are loud. There are going to be people who want to be the center of attention. And it's easy sometimes to feel small in comparison. Maybe you don't want to speak up. Maybe you're afraid to speak up. But nobody is going to speak on your behalf as well as you can. So whether that's advocating for yourself for a raise, advocating for yourself when you just find yourself in a really bad work situation, speak up. Be that person that says, "I'm here." And you can be louder, you can be more obnoxious, but you will not silence me. And next is, don't compromise yourself. I remember when I was offered a position at a payday loan company in their headquarters, fancy office, more money, all that stuff. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it because I couldn't support that. I would be compromising my values, and you might find yourself in those type of positions, whether that is through a job that doesn't align with what you believe in, whether that's you're asked to do something that doesn't sit right with you. Never let a company make you feel as though you are being untrue to yourself. You have your own moral grounding, and don't forget that that is the pillar of you. And once you realize that that cannot be swayed, it's going to make decisions way easier in your career and in your life. Oh, next, I forgot I wrote this one. Listen to your gut. I have gotten in so many situations where I've been like, okay, my brain rationally is saying this might be the best option, but my gut is telling me no. And there is something inherent in the fact that you feel. I don't want you to quiet that sense. Even if you break it down into a pro-con list, if something seems off, listen to that. If something is telling you to take a pause, or to question, or yes, to even go for it when it doesn't seem as though the odds are in your favor, I want you to listen to that. You can call it your voice, inner voice, you can call it your gut, whatever, intuition, whatever you want to call it, it's there and you know it's there. It's like, I'm here, listen to me. Listen to it. And next is be the person that you need for someone else. Let me break that down. There are going to come points in your life where you need somebody. And that could be somebody that you respect, that you are looking to maybe go into the same line of work that they're going into, somebody who's a mentor, somebody who can help you learn the ropes, whatever it is. And I pray that that person is there for you. And once you have climbed whatever mountain you're looking to climb with their help, I want you to turn around, reach down your hand to the next person who is coming up. Be that person that you wish you had. Be that person that you did have. I truly believe that the best way that we can learn and grow and become who we're meant to be is because of the people that support us, that we surround ourselves with. So never forget that people have helped you and that you need to help others, because I swear that is the way that this is going to become a better world. Next is don't put all of your eggs in one company basket. I worked in HR long enough to know this. The words, oh, we're a family here, yeah, you can trust us, they're empty. At the end of the day, a business is a business and you need to look out for yourself. One of the worst things I see is somebody who has been in a company for a long time and then they're just blindsided when they're laid off or the company folds or something happens to their job. They've put all of their eggs in one basket. And that usually doesn't end well, because you have to start over. But if you're always constantly looking out for yourself, because yes, you are number one in your life and you should be seeking out ways that you can make money in other areas, that you can develop new skills that could help you down the line. You should be networking with people that could open doors in the future. And next is, remember that you're replaceable at work. You're not replaceable at home. There is what is the word I'm looking for? Perverted sense of obligation to our workplace. And I've fallen into it. I've given and I've given and I've given to an employer at the expense of not being there for the people that I need to be there for, my family, the people that love me, the people that would do anything for me. For some reason, sometimes we put those people on the back burner in the name of the job being the reason we need to do that. We say to ourselves, well, the job is what pays the bills. The job is what has the insurance. I have to do this for my family, while neglecting family. I'm not saying there's not gonna be times where you have to make decisions that go against like spending time with your family, but I want you to make sure that every time you make that decision that you're fully aware that you're doing it. Because if you keep doing it, it becomes easier and easier, and it's easy to say, well, they'll always be there. But your family, they're the ones that are going to support you and lift you up when things don't go right in your job. They're going to be there when your job is done, because in some capacity, unless you literally expire on the job, your job will be gone and your family will still be there. So never, ever let your job take precedence over the people in your life that you care about and care about you the most. And next is, you know what? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. And I'm so excited that you're gonna fail, because every single time you fail, you're gonna learn. And then you're gonna come back stronger. You're gonna come back with a new perspective. And every time you fail, it just means you're one step closer to figuring it out. So don't look at mistakes as something that you can't overcome. Don't look at mistakes as something that you should be ashamed of. No, they're a sign that you are still going, a sign that you are making progress, and a sign that you are going to get there. And next is, I want you to realize that you are put here to give to others, but I never want you to give so much that you don't recognize your own boundaries. As somebody whose kiddo is such a caring and empathetic soul, this one is especially poignant because it's easy. It's easy to give and give and give, and people will love that about you. But you also need to know when to say no, when to say that's enough. And this comes up a lot in your career. You're going to be asked to take on things, and you know your gut, like I said, your gut that's talking to you, your intuition is telling you not to, but you feel like you have to. You have to give a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then you'll get to where you want to go. It's okay to say I'm not. It's okay to put your limits up. It's okay to communicate those limits, because that is what is going to lead you to be healthy. And the final point, and this is one that I need you to know, there is never a point where it's too late. And we often fall for this. I'm too old to. I've been here too long. I can't change. You can always change. You can change at 20, you can change at 40, 60, 90, 100. I don't care. As long as you're living, you still have the option to change course. I feel like we put so much pressure on kids, and yes, they're kids, 18, 19, 20, 21, to pick a course. And then you think, okay, I've put so much time, so much money into this degree that I can't switch course. And then that's how you feel trapped. You feel trapped. You look back 20 years, you're like, how in the world did I get here? I've been on this path and I just never got off, and now it's too late to get off. It's never too late. I want you to think about what it is that you thought you would be doing, what it is that you think might make you happy, and just see where it could lead. I'm not saying to quit your job tomorrow, but never give up on figuring out ways that you can get closer to fulfillment, into happiness, and do something. Even if it seems so incredibly little, do something to get you one step closer to that.